Sure. We are reacting to Binging with Babish, Pray Patties for SpongeBob SquarePants.
Also, our thumbnails are referenced to it.
This episode is sponsored by Cash App. When your personal finances connect you to your funds and the things that matter, that's money.
You guys know what happened.
You know what else is money? Achieving bowl symmetry. Accidental Mardi Gras store.
This is the
Back to the 80s. That's money. That whole symmetry and the things that matter, that's money. And that's Cash App. You know what else is money? Achieving bowl symmetry. Accidental Mardi Gras and better food coloring through science. That's money. That's Cash App. Download Cash App from the App Store or Google Play Store today to add your cash tag to the 80 million and counting.
Pretty patties, available in 6 designer colors.
That's pretty truthful. SpongeBob could have added more colors. I mean,
wait, are you gonna say the fact that SpongeBob, you know?
oh yeah, SpongeBob.
Wait, let's go full screen.
SpongeBob copied the Krabby Patties. He illegally made them.
How do you know he copied it?
Well, it took a sack. Like it has a sack of ingredients. Even said it's just a Krabby Patty. At the end of the day, he's illegally selling it and giving the secret formula away. And he burns money, which is illegal. He was gonna burn it, which he did, destroy it. Which, really, SpongeBob, are you an idiot? Now I get SpongeBob, he's rich. But what about Patrick? He's Neanderthal. If this was more on Patrick, you know, he'd just run away with money. But basically, Mr. Krabs, even though he's an asshole, this one episode, I feel bad for him. Would I still say he shouldn't have sold SpongeBob's soul? Of course. Like, literally, he sold his soul to a devil of the sea. And you wanna know what the Dutchman does with souls? He gives it to Lucifer to stay alive. So
well,
basically,
that's in some lores.
Basically, Mr. Krabs selling SpongeBob's soul to a devil. So,
all I want to do is watch a fucking SpongeBob play by film! Jesus Christ!
Yeah, speaking of Jesus
Why did that
Christ,
take such a dark turn? All he had to say was, man, Mr. Krabs a dick.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, but
sorry.
Basically, like
I had to stop you. You were going too far.
Mr. Squidward! Go!
Fuck you, Squidward!
Don't that look appetizing? Good sir.
I mean, the green one doesn't look appetizing, though. This is green, no?
Wait! Give me an orange patty with extra purple!
How does that work?
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're finally taking a look at Pretty Patties. Now, the
nice tattoos.
great Stephen Hillen.
Rest in peace. You know how much I which he didn't pass. I don't wanna get into this, but rest in peace. He was really a legend. But anyway.
But he hasn't cut the onions yet, so you should not cry yet.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Nah, that's a lot of ingredients. Sheesh. What's the meat made of? I know it's not meat, but I don't know, I'm hungry.
If I made out,
SpongeBob specified that Krabby Patties are meatless, so as you can see I have the entire vegetable kingdom strewn before me. But before we can make any pastel patties, we have to make some brilliant buns. Now my first instinct was to recreate the brightly colored, barely browning bread from the Brood Witch episode. Now not only did the egg wash
they look like Skittles.
to adhere the sesame seeds to the bun caused the bun to brown, but late that night I awoke in a cold sweat, remembering that eggs are not vegan. And on the off chance that's what he meant, I decided to start over with a lean burger bun dough. We're starting with 510 grams of bread flour in a large bowl.
I don't know, I don't like a Krabby Patty being vegan. It was never vegan in the original lore. It was clearly stated that it was not vegan.
I always thought sea cow.
Yeah. Now I actually think that it was probably
something.
I mean, to be 100% honest, Mr. Krabs could have been in serious when it was planned, and we know he says he's lying, but we never know.
I'm hungry. I'll see you in a second. 4 minutes. 4 minutes, you fucking talking about Mr. Krabs.
What's this? Anyway.
We had some fish and chips.
Wait, what? Sorry, what? We had fish and chips and a SpongeBob meal? My leg!
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was just so hungry, you know? Now, where were
To which we're going to add 10 grams of instant yeast, 30 grams of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt that we're going to regular size whisk together to make sure that everything is evenly distributed throughout the flour.
Right.
Before adding 275 ml of water and 60
Nice flex for your watch, bro. Let's flex on your 5-year-old fans are watching a SpongeBob Pretty Patty video.
ml of neutral flavored oil like vegetable oil.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound mean. I was just trying to make a joke. Mocking flexers. It's not you specifically. Pacific Rim? No.
Granola, mixing together at first by spatula and then by hand until combined into a fluffy yet homogeneous dough. Normally we would now want to knead this within an inch of its life until it passes the window pane test, but since we have to make 6 different colors and I don't want to make 6 different batches of dough, I am weighing and dividing this dough into 6 equal pieces, working with one at a time and keeping the rest covered. First I'm going to break it in half, placing the jar of the food processor, ready the food coloring of my choice, and then with the food processor running, slowly drizzling a small amount of color down through the feed tube, then letting the dough process for about 45 seconds total, both evenly distributing the color throughout the dough.
It's good to see someone make these a reality, you know? Also, in this SpongeBob lore, SpongeBob gave him paint. So, like, no one talks about health benefits of flat. Maybe it's edible paint? Yeah, still, it doesn't go right with...
edible paint?
Doesn't stick right with me, yeah.
Yeah, but there is edible. Sit back with me, brother.
Doesn't sit.
And helping to develop gluten. Use the dough as a sort of sponge to pick up all the scraps, give it a sort of gestural
SpongeBob SquarePants lifting up pineapple under the sea.
SpongeBob SquarePants! Orange, red, indigo violet, and good old-fashioned green. Once everybody is well kneaded and tinted, it's time to let them rise. Cover a plastic wrap and allow to bulk ferment at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours until visibly embiggened by anywhere from 50 to 100%. Next up, shaping. Go ahead and dig out the first color of your choice. Going with orange, weigh it and divide that number precisely in half because each of these mini batches is going to yield 2 extra large slider buns, which I realize is an oxymoron. Go ahead and roll each portion into a nice, smooth, taut ball, lightly pressing down each to make sure that they don't end up too vertical, and arranging with plenty of space on a parchment-lined baking sheet.
You know, I didn't want to mention this, but what always made me wonder was when Mr. Krabs said, Mr. Krabs said, I want an orange wax for purple. What does that mean? Like, does he want purple onions, a purple patty, purple buns? Like,
guys, I don't
what does that
think
mean?
we're ever going to talk about the guys cooking. We're just going to talk about SpongeBob all day. Nice tattoos, man. I wanted to say when he said, I have an oxycone or something, I was thinking, what does this guy say?
I'm sorry, it's just, you know, I'm more focused on SpongeBob.
Well, yeah, I know, but you should probably give a little respect.
Before covering with oiled plastic wrap, once again leaving it to its own devices for 1 to 2 hours until nearly double in size.
Damn.
Then comes the sticky issue of
Still
sesame
looks
seed
like,
adhesion. I'm going with a water
again?
wash to keep things vegan and to prevent browning, but that's going to have all the sticking power of, well, water. So they're probably going to have all the staying power of my hairline. Either way, these guys are headed into a preheated
The guy's
350 degree Fahrenheit oven
he
for
might be
15
bald
to
in real
18
life.
minutes until nicely puffed and set and
Oh,
registering
shoot.
between
If he wasn't,
195
he'd be
Why
and
does he need, you know... Oh, he's probably going to cut them in two.
I think he's not going to be on screen.
5 degrees Fahrenheit at their thickest point. Allow to cool completely.
Lady.
On the trays if they're on the lower end of that spectrum. Now onto the issue of vegan cheese style products. Once again, I'm only making one of each of these burgers, so I don't want to make a huge amount of each different color of cheese. So I'm lining these muffin tins with oiled plastic wrap and using them as a mold for each color. For the cheese itself, into the bowl of a blender goes 200 grams of rinsed cashews, 200 grams of refined coconut oil, 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of kappa carrageenan, 25 grams of arrowroot powder, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, 1 teaspoon.
Why not just search up vegan cheese?
Because, you know, he's making it.
Teaspoon garlic powder, 25 grams of nutritional yeast, 15
Yeah, but that's not how you make cheese. You milk a cow. Oh, yeah, vegan. Vegan, see.
Almond milk.
Well, you know, vegan is basically the definition of, not trying to sound mean here, but unholiness. Because God creates, you know, all these animals for stuff. If you're a vegan, you're being unholy. I'm joking.
Ml of lemon juice, 100 ml of sauerkraut or pickle brine, and 375 ml of cold water. This stuff's all getting blended together into rather a thick, pasty paste, for which you're probably going to need to enlist the help of your favorite blender stuffer, pureeing for at least 60 seconds on high speed with varying levels of difficulty until completely smooth. Next up, you're going to gently heat this on the stovetop until it reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit. I can't seem to find footage of this, maybe I didn't hit record, but here's the stuff after it's been cooked, which I'm now distributing into each muffin cavity, where I'm going to proceed to tint it using a little bit of...
Did he have his own one?
His own one?
So now it's just...
Blender.
Pans.
coloring, and a tiny whisk. This should
Pans,
hopefully yield
sometimes.
6 pucks of sliceable,
Yeah.
meltable, colorful vegan cheese. All it needs is to be covered and refrigerated at least
Now, me and James were talking about watching the episode, What's the Meaning of Life?
Question. The episode's called The Question.
Personally, I personally believe the meaning of life is survival, making a house, breathing, and making the circle of life go on, as the old saying goes.
Should be spreading the gospel.
Because at the end of the day, when you think about it, we get buried and get eaten by spiders, bugs, beasts, and that's how it's meant to go.
Unless you cremate yourself.
Yeah, and that's not natural. You
Well.
shouldn't cremate yourself.
Oh, I see opinions now. Josh,
What?
this isn't your place for opinions.
Okay, all I'm saying is I personally believe we eat animals, animals eat us, and then, we become shit, becoming false, becoming
Stop.
plants, and we become the earth itself, basically. When we're
at
not.
least 4 hours or up to overnight to set up, to cap a carrageenan, hopefully giving it a bouncy cheese-like texture. Now, upon extraction, I discovered that the tiny
That's
whisk
the meaning
betrayed
of
me, and
life.
the
I'm
cheese
not
color
saying
was
the
not
meaning
as
of the
consistent here.
afterlife.
Now, upon extraction, I discovered that the tiny whisk betrayed me, and
Tiny was betrayed to you. Sounds time.
the cheese color was not as consistent as I had hoped, but it was delightfully sliceable, kept its shape, and was actually very cheesy. It definitely tasted funkier and cheesier than American cheese does, even though that's obviously not saying much. If you're going to make this yourself with food coloring for some reason, maybe just add the food coloring before putting it in the mold. Now onto the patty part of the pretty patty. Obviously, there's a wealth of colors in nature that we can put to good use, but how do we turn them into veggie patties? So as you can see, for that I am preparing a litany of legumes, cooking these 3 different colors of lentils to their various states of doneness, draining a whole bunch of different colored beans, and peeling some purple potatoes. Normally I would just cover these with cold water and cook them like it was any other day, but we want to make these things as purple as possible. So we're going to cover them with cold water and cook them like it's any
Those
other
are
day.
real
But during their
ones,
last 3 minutes of cooking, I'm going to
I
add
think
some
like
thinly
real.
sliced purple.
Yeah, I was gonna plant. Me and my boys at school were planting. We're gonna plant
Red onions.
purple cabbage.
Yeah, it's called red cabbage, actually, where do.
Cabbage, making sure that it's fully submerged before adding a teaspoon of
That's
baking
right.
powder,
So
which
it's
uses science or magic or both to turn the
Which is science or magic or both. Gosh. Focus on making a video, please.
cabbage and the cooking water a brilliant shade of blue. Definitely not totally necessary, but I wanted to try it out, and this seemed as applicable an application as I could apply it to. Go ahead and spread this out on a rimmed baking sheet so that it can cool entirely before being fashioned into a burger. Also, corn. Just corn. Now it's finally time to start prettying patties.
Oh, switch. Yeah.
Patty equation we decided to work with was 1 part cooked vegetable, in this case spinach, 1 part legumes, I'm using half
Did you say spinach?
Yeah.
I mean,
green lentils, half edamame, half a part the grain of your choice, I'm using brown rice, 1/4 part breadcrumbs or ground oats for a binder, 1 tablespoon vital wheat gluten, and salt and pepper to taste. Pulse until a ground beef-like consistency is achieved, thickening with more rice, ground oats, or vital wheat gluten as needed. And there you have it, our green patty. Don't have super high hopes for this one, let's try yellow. I'm starting with yellow lentils, the aforementioned corn, ground oats, and brown rice. More excited
This
about
is canonical when, I think it's fair to give SpongeBob a break because,
yeah, this was canon, then fine, I would give him that.
Also, I think these are the actual patties, not the burger buns he's making it.
this one because it's basically just fried corn cake. Then for orange, I'm going grated carrot for the vegetable,
think that's
brown
good on
rice for
each
the
one,
grain,
so
and vital
if they-
wheat gluten for the
they
binder.
are
Medium
wor-
hopes
if
for
they
this one.
were
I
just
love
on
carrots, but I've
design-
never described them as burger-like. Next up for red, I'm going kidney beans for the legume. What I know are going to be divisive sun-dried tomatoes for the vegetable, brown rice for the grain, and ground oats for the binder. Pulse until pebbly, and let's be honest, not red enough. So this is going to be the one patty where I cheat with a little bit of food coloring. So let's all just collectively pretend that we didn't see that. And then for purple, as you might have guessed, I'm going with peeled and grated beets. This, along with some neutrally colored pinto beans, produced a picture-perfect purple patty. Next up, our blue potatoes and cabbage are going to be accompanied by blue corn tortilla chips, brown rice, and vital wheat gluten for a patty that I'm pretty sure it's going to taste awesome. I mean, it's mostly potatoes and chips. So there you have it, 6 different veggie burger bases, each of which I'm going to press into 2-ounce patties the same width as our buns. The last bit of prep that now remains is the slicing of the vegan cheese. And given that this stuff has the consistency of Play-Doh, it might be more about shaping than slicing. Once you get your cheese, arts, and crafts ready to go, we can start slicing our buns. I wanted to make consistent, even cuts, and as it turned out, a coaster. And today's sponsor was the perfect pedestal upon which to prop our pan. And of course, being French for bread. First things first, once our buns are sliced, we gotta toast them. I don't care what your burger's made of, I don't care what you're made of, you deserve a toasted bun. Once everybody is varying degrees of visibly golden brown, we're gonna make sure that our pan is nice and hot and well oiled, considering that our patties have little to no fat of their own. As you can see, each patty browns at a different rate, so be sure to keep a close eye on crusts, especially if you're making 6 different kinds of veggie burgers at a time. Also use caution when flipping with all that excess oil in the pan. Once everybody's fried up, it's time to color coordinate and serve. Each patty, bun, and cheese getting carefully color matched before being placed on a large balsa wood artist palette in the same color, order, and orientation as presented by SpongeBob on the...
Look really good. Orange, yellow, Which one do you guys think looks the best? The red one looks bad, and the red and purple one.
Yellow. Actually, it doesn't look that good. Orange.
And the show, and there you have it.
Blue. What? Orange and blue. I don't know. Oh god.
It's okay.
They look kind of gross, to be honest.
Pretty patties. Lots of stuff to unpack here, so let's go one at a time. I'm scared of losing even more sesame seeds, but we must take a look at these cross sections. First up, the green pretty patty. While this particular veggie burger was decidedly veggie-oriented in its flavors, it had a nice little crisp to it and played really well with the vegan cheese. Next up, the orange patty. Look at that cheese, sorta kinda melt. And this one was good. It didn't really taste like carrots, but not much like anything else either. Next up, the purple, violet, or mauve patty, which mostly just tasted like beets, which means I'm not going to eat it unless there's goat cheese. Next up, the yellow corn patty, which to my disappointment only barely tasted like corn. Next up, the indigo or midnight blue patty. This one I'm most excited about, and it's pretty good, but it really does just taste like a tortilla chip burger. Last up, the red patty, made from sun-dried tomatoes and beans. Now this one at least kind of looks like cartoon meat, but it doesn't taste as much like sun-dried tomatoes as I had hoped. So let's rank them. First up, purple beets, not so great. Next up, yellow corn, about as bland a burger as ever there was. Almost the same story for the orange carrot burger. Then the red sun-dried tomato burger, a little bit more flavor, but still kind of disappointing. Then the blue burger, which was good, but maybe a little morally questionable. And then, believe it or not, I think the green was my favorite. It's a veggie burger that's not pretending to be anything other than just that, a veggie burger. But I think we can agree there's one thing that all these patties have in common. They are indeed pretty. Thanks again to Cash App. That's money, that's Cash App. Download Cash App from the app.
Money well spent.
And, have a great day.
Goodbye, guys.